So I'm Chanin Wendling. I attend St. Paul's UCC as my home church. I am a resident of Selinsgrove since 1999. I am currently on the board of the Danville chapter of PFLAG, and in September of last year we started a support group for the Selinsgrove community, and the church was nice enough to host that support group, and so I, along with some others, facilitate that group. We meet once a month.
So then, how does your life fit into the LGBT community?
Yeah, so I'm a parent of a trans daughter. She identified as trans when she was 13 years old. She had previously come out the year or so before as gay, as she was working through what was actually happening. And so very important that she be accepted and seen for the wonderful person that she is, and have opportunities. And so we worked with the school on some policies and her rights. We were around multiple years ago when she was in high school, and there was the big debate with the school board in terms of appropriate policies for trans kids in the school. And so I think we were very active in trying to push policies that respected her rights along with other LGBTQ rights. And she's now in college in Washington State and is doing really well. And we were fortunate to have lots of great support from our friends and from the community overall. There were also lots of dissenting voices, but we felt lots of people who were very supportive and wanting to help us make sure that she gets to grow up to be the person that she is.
So backing up here, describe to me, does PFLAG stand for anything?
So in the past, PFLAG, when it was originally formed, was Parents and Families of Lesbian and Gay Children. However, as the world has sort of migrated and we've adopted new terms, PFLAG is 50 years old, we've come to not focus so much on what PFLAG's the letters stand for, and more what the mission of the organization is to, and I know you have that, a caring and empowering environment for LGBTQ plus people and those that care about them.
So describe to me what PFLAG does.
Mm-hmm. So PFLAG is a national organization that then enables chapters around the country to have some more direct community support. So PFLAG has lots of resources to help LGBTQ people plus families understand what's going on, handle different situations. They advocate for LGBTQ plus people. So they have a significant website with lots of resources that can be helpful in having conversations with family, dealing with work situations, dealing with partner situations, whatever you would need. And then in our local community, we sponsor some speaker series and support groups. So the second Tuesday of the month, we have an online session. Second Thursday of the month, they're all Thursdays. At 7 p.m. we have an online session where we usually bring in a speaker. And so you have the opportunity to hear from somebody that maybe is doing advocacy, or an LGBTQ person who's talking about their life or issues of the day. And then we have a parents group that meets online if you want to talk about parent issues. We have a Danville support group, and then we have the Selinsgrove support group that again meets monthly, and these are just places for people to get together and talk through whatever is on their mind, issues, things they need help with. The Danville and Selinsgrove support groups are both in person and also offer an online option, and the parents group is online. We also participate in a number of events. So there are pride events that we will participate in, share materials, listen to perspectives, help people point them in the right direction or get them materials if they may need them. So there's a pride event coming up in Berwick in June, as well as Lewisburg. Last year, there was a Sunbury event that we participated in. We also participated in the Selinsgrove Market Street Festival and the Selinsgrove Halloween Parade. Personally, for the Selinsgrove Market Street Festival, which was not a pride event, at a pride event you get lots of supporters. Selinsgrove Market Street Festival was an event for all kinds of people, and really appreciated the number of folks that came up to our tent and told us that they really appreciated what we were doing and that we were there at the event, and that they enjoyed having an organization that was supporting LGBTQ.
The PFLAG is not a church function, but it is supported by the church. Is that?
Yes, so it's not a religious organization.
So as a parent of a trans daughter, have you used the PFLAG support group yourself?
Yeah, so I actually, when my daughter first came out as trans, I was only slightly aware of PFLAG. We went to a pride event and got some information, but we did not take advantage of it to the extent we probably should have, could have. So my involvement PFLAG is right now is a little bit more my sharing my story and my experience in helping parents who might be going through this today. We're very fortunate to have a number of friends in the community that were very supportive of us, and we could talk through what's going on, and so without being formally with PFLAG, we did have that type of support to help us.
So as a parent, was it easy for you to accept what your daughter was telling you, or did you have a journey of not and then where you are now?
Yeah, so acceptance was always there, and when you love your kid, that's all you can do. So it's all about love. As a parent, you don't get to define your kid's life. There are things like parents, we don't like the career the kid chooses, we don't always like who they're dating, whatever. That's not our decision. We need to take care of our kids, prepare them to make their own decisions, give them good advice and counsel, but we should not try to live our lives for them. And if we love our kids, then that's always the foundation, and it was for us. So for us, it was really how do we understand, how do we help? I think I was aware of the trans community, but I didn't really fully understand what that meant. I didn't understand what she needed. And so lots of things for us were that education. What do we need to do? We learned about what therapy was available. We learned about medical treatments. We learned about how to change your name. Different issues that we had to address with the school, just things like, going to the bathroom, changing in locker rooms for gym that we had to work out. And that was all an education journey. Again, some resources were available and to learn about those things. I think for us, it was, again, always supporting our kid. There were some sad things. We didn't want to forget the years of her life before. So for her, changing the name was important, but we wanted to remember those times. Excuse me. So that's probably been the hardest thing, is just wanting to respect her wishes, but also remember the wonderful kid she's always been.
And that's, in some of these interviews, I interviewed Victoria Matthews over in Sunbury, and she described it as her and her daughter going through a period of mourning for what used to be. And it sounds like that's sort of what you have been experiencing as well as a family.
Yeah. Again, very happy to support her. But there was one Christmas where we pulled out the Christmas decorations and the wrong name was on the stockings and a few ornaments. And that was a problem for her. And she wanted to get rid of all of those things. I very quickly, thank goodness for places like Etsy, I very quickly ordered some new things that had the correct name on them now, but I kept those things. So it's not part of her life anymore, but it's still part of mine.
What would you say to other parents who are going through what you went through and maybe not as accepting?
Yeah, so I think this is always about love. And you need to not let your fear override your love for your kid. So I think for lots of parents, it's very scary. They worry about how the world is going to treat their kid. They also worry about how their friends and family are going to see them. And the impact it's going to have on their lives. And that can cause you to have some maybe unloving behavior, and you don't win your kid that way. And trying to force your kid to be something they're not, trying to force your kid to be something you want them to be, but they don't want to be, it's never going to work out well. Again, we're talking specifically about LGBTQ, but it applies to lots of parental situations. And you just risk losing your kid. So you're better off operating, from your love for your kid, trying to understand what's going on, getting help and support, therapy, etc., so that you can work through it together. It's not an easy journey for you as a parent. It's not an easy journey for your kid. Lots and lots of scary things that are going on, and not everybody is accepting and will. My kid has certainly gotten some comments that have not been nice, and you worry about how people are going to treat your kid, the life they're going to lead, but you can't let those fears make you, try and change your kid. It will never work. My husband was fond of saying the train has left the station, and we can either get on board or we can get left behind, and I don't want to be left behind in my kid's life. I would also say that the problem these days is primarily with us older people. Younger people are much more accepting, not just of LGBTQ, but other types of things. We have a whole movement of be kind. We have lots of different people who live in this country, and we never win by being mean. Everybody is a person. Everybody deserves to be loved and respected for who they are, and so we as people are best if we are accepting and understanding and let people live the lives that they want to live. We don't want people controlling our lives. We should not be controlling somebody else's.